So you guys know me as Pinche Ben. My name is Ben Davila. I grew up in Corpus Christi, Texas. Grew up a city slicker, man. Born and raised in South Texas. But growing up down in South Texas, I had a little bit of a rough upbringing. You know, I moved around a lot as a kid. I was, I won't say we were poor, but we had our ups and downs. And with that, rent and all those things had us kind of moving. And, you're on a lease, you're not owning a house. So I moved around a lot, man. I pretty much went to almost every elementary school in the city and a few middle schools, a couple high schools. Grew up in Corpus, went to Ray High School. I went to Miller. I grew up playing football, so that was kind of my out. I was in neighborhoods where a lot of street gangs were thriving, and football was my only way out. And that's what kept me out of the gangs, and I'm actually thankful for that because that was kind of like my ticket to staying out of the street gangs. And it sounds crazy, but that was really what was going on in the late 90s, man, and that was kind of like people were influenced by prisons and movies and thugs, and that was kind of my upbringing. I grew up in the hood, man, and along that time I had some cousins and uncles that would get me out of the city, and they would take me hunting, fishing, and things like that. And that was kind of like how I fell in love with the outdoors because it was such a different world from the city. When I was 6 years old, my dad actually moved us out to the country, and we lived out in Sandia, Texas. Man, that was the best time of my life. We actually lived out on a little ranchette. I'd go walk down the road and set up gar lines before getting on the school bus to go to the school. I was in kindergarten, man, and that school went from kindergarten all the way to high school. It was a very small school out in the country. And that's kind of where I cut my teeth, hunting and fishing, man. It was just kind of like living out in the woods. That was my first love for the outdoors.
You watch the Cast&Blast podcast.